And now, on top of that, we have this review of the Iran deal, which is also significant for Israel, significant for all of us. Now, for those of you, I'm sure it was a debate here in this country about the JCPOA. As Colin mentioned, we met with DFAT, and we heard perhaps a slightly different perspective than my own over there. But the things that we raised, I'll share with you now. That there are milestones that are coming due in the JCPOA and the Iran deal that are highly problematic. By year 4, which is 2019, it will be the end of the arms embargo, which means that Iran is going to be able to buy and sell weapons on the open market. They're going to be able to give those weapons to Hezbollah, to Hamas, to the Assad regime, to the Houthis in Yemen, and there's going to be very little that we can do about it other than try to interdict. At year 8, we will see the end of the ballistic missile restrictions. What's amazing about the Iran deal is that it even allowed the Iranians to have this ballistic missile provision. Because of course, what is the main delivery system for a nuclear weapon? It's an ICBM. How we allowed that to be in the nuclear deal in the first place has been mind-boggling to me since it was signed in 2015. Then by years 10 through 12, we're going to have what's known as the sunset provisions. All of the major provisions of the nuclear deal will go away, which means that Iran will have a paid pathway to a nuclear weapon. It means that they will either be Japan, where they will be a turnkey away, or they will be Pakistan, or even worse, they'll be North Korea. On top of all of that, we provided Iran with $150 billion in sanctions relief. We have not been given access to sensitive military sites. And of course, the Iranians are still working on advanced centrifuges, meaning they haven't given up their nuclear program. They've pressed pause for about a decade. And so the Trump administration is now trying to get the international community to respond, to address these problems, because they are literally a ticking time bomb. Iran is going to be a major problem for the international community for the foreseeable future unless we can go back and address the fatal flaws of the nuclear program. So we have a deadline coming up in the United States. It's on May 12th. This is the date where Congress has to reassess and reissue the terms under which we are willing to work with the nuclear deal. And I believe we're also going to see our international partners being called upon to agree to some of these things as well. My sense is that we are likely to keep all of the entities that we delisted from the nuclear program. We removed sanctions on a ton of different nuclear entities. They're going to stay free of sanctions, but we are going to start to heap on non-nuclear sanctions. That means terrorism, human rights, cyber violations, all the things that Iran has been doing as a rogue state that fall outside of the nuclear realm. We are going to be calling upon you and the Brits and the Canadians and everyone who will work with us to begin to throw new sanctions onto Iran to try to hinder its economic advancement.